Hey, welcome back to another Stigma Game review. I am Rich.
And I am Twan.
And we are here to review Singualrity, the Xbox first-person shooter that was just released a month ago. We just got done playing it a few days ago, and I think overall we were pretty happy with it. Although, maybe not.
There were some definite negatives, but there were some positives too.
There were some definite negatives for sure.
Gameplay, our first category, was good. It was a good, solid game. There were some really creative things in the gameplay. The thing that dominates the game is a time manipulation device. You can H things, you can revert them, you can go back and forth through time. Awesome, solid thing. Also, the weapons in the game, really, really good. It was fun to slow down time with some of them. And also, another positive about the gameplay was the combat. You had soldiers, and then you combated mutants, and they mixed it up and made it really flow really well.
Yeah.
And I really liked that dynamic. See, I never really felt like I was bored when I was playing.
Right.
I also really liked the upgradable weapons.
Right.
And just the overall time theme was good for me. So I am 15 out of 20 on the gameplay.
15 out of 20. I'm 13 out of 20. I also enjoyed all those things that you discussed. I think that it was limiting to a large respect. I think that the time manipulation device, you can only use it on certain objects, and the game was pretty clear on what it wanted to use it on. So it kind of took away a lot of what we enjoy in games, which is just kind of going around and searching for things and finding our way. And speaking of that, the chrono ping
Sucks.
Yeah, there's a button on the 360 D-pad down, and then all of a sudden it just gives you footprints to follow for your next destination of the game if you get in a little bit of a jam. And that's kind of annoying. I didn't really ever use it, but this guy right here,
I was a junkie. I was a chrono ping junkie.
You couldn't get off the chrono ping.
I couldn't stop using chrono ping.
Yeah. So I mean, and it also another kind of blemish I think for the game was the game wouldn't allow you to go places that you wanted to go at certain times. Like you wanted to jump over a car to check out this building or whatnot. It wouldn't let you jump over the car, or it wouldn't let you just go to walk down this area because it wanted to be very linear. It wanted to take you down this one path, which I think is just I think games have gotten so expansive that that's a blemish. I mean, I think that's a downright blemish. So I gave it 13 out of 20. I think, like Anthony said, a lot of the mechanics with the guns and the mutants and the humans and going back and shooting people in 1955 versus 2010, that was all pretty fun. But I think they could have done a little better. The replay value, what do you think?
Replay value, it was poor. The biggest reason I replay is to get those achievements. Maybe start on medium and then work my way up to hard. And if there's like an intense difficulty, I kind of like to get those gamer scores, as you know.
Right.
Like, that's good for me. But we did it on hard that first time, and there really was no incentive to play it again. I was pretty satisfied with the first gameplay. The only other incentive is that there are 3 endings, and they all kind of depend on what you do right at the very end. But the game allows you just to reload just right before, minus like a 10-minute cutscene that
you can't skip.
Kind of painful.
You watch 3 times.
To watch 3 times when you're over. But at least you didn't have to replay the game. So my replay value is a 5 out of 20. It's not a very strong replay game.
Yeah. Same here. I actually give it a 5 out of 20 as well. Just don't have any desire to put it back in. Enjoyed the first play. Play through it on very difficult, so you don't ever have to question whether or not you missed something in the game. And the game's so linear that, you're not going to have a chance to go explore anything else. You're not going to find new enemies. You're not going to find new pickups. You're not going to find anything new on the second pursuit. Yeah, you've gone through the game. You've seen everything. The market value for me, I just put it right in the middle. I gave it a 10. That's an average par score. I don't think that it's worth $60. I don't think you should go buy it. I think maybe you ought to rent it, or wait for a few months, go pick up a used copy. In fact, you probably find plenty of used copies for the people that don't want to replay it.
Right. Yeah, I'm about the same on that. I don't think that I would buy it brand new off the shelf in retrospect, but I think that it's, I would spend maybe $49.99 or pick it up used, or it's a rental. So 17 out of 20 for market value. What did you think about the storyline?
Hated it.
Yeah, the storyline was awful. It really was.
Yeah.
It was a Russian hate game.
It was. It was probably super offensive to a lot of people. It just, I felt like we were, during the big communist scare in like the '60s here again. There was this, anybody that speaks with an accent, you better shoot them. Kind of thing, like it was, I don't know. But as far as the storyline goes, it was really frustrating. The cutscenes were just regular cutscenes, and that was all well. But the developers of the game really wanted you to become immersed in the story by reading notes that you find everywhere, and also listening to audio recordings that you had to take it back, revert it to a state that it worked, and then you had to hover, within 2 feet of the box and listen intently to, some really bad voice acting and try and pick up some of the story, and it just didn't work for us. I think
It was a bummer.
yeah. We probably listened to 2 or 3 audio and tried to read 4 or 5 notes, and the notes, by the way, are you have this huge piece of typewriter paper, and then at the very top, it just has these little tiny font on this brown paper. You can barely read it, and it's just not worth your time. So we didn't really know what was going on in the whole game as far as the storyline goes. But it was one of those games that didn't matter because you didn't have to make any choices. You didn't have to do anything. You just followed the path and shot people with accents, and you were good to go.
Right. Yeah. I'm in the same boat. Storyline really. Those recordings and notes just ruined it. You got to get those out of there. They've been done. It's not original, and they're awful.
Yeah. Oh, and they've been done much better too.
They absolutely have. I've hated them less in other games.
Yeah.
So I'm 7 out of 20 in that one.
Right.
Where are you at for originality?
I think it did okay job at being original. I think it borrowed a lot of concepts from other games, but the way it used time manipulation really was pretty unique to this game. Particularly using time manipulation to solve puzzles, I thought that was pretty neat. I enjoyed the weaponry. We talked about that.
Yeah, the weaponry was really good. Anything you can upgrade, is really good. The sniper rifle in particular, where you can slow that down, I love that. Time manipulation was a big plus, but it was a big focus, and so they did a great job on that. It was good, just as far as being able to just age people to death. It's got to be worth at least a few hours of your time.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I thought that was good, and so originality, I am 17 out of 20. I thought that it was a pretty good game, but I am going to be expecting a lot more if they're going to do a sequel.
Yeah, sequels can be hard on this one, guys. So you got to really step up your game. I gave it a 15. The novelty of the time manipulation did kind of wear off for me
At the end,
yeah, as we went through, and particularly my biggest gripe about the game is that it forced me to act certain ways, whether in the paths that I took or the way I thought. It just was pretty much, set out for you, and there was only really one way to beat the game. So, but yeah, overall, I scored this one as a 38, which is just below par. I think it's worth a playthrough, but maybe just one. Playthrough it on difficult. It really wasn't that hard of a game, so you should play through it on difficult regardless.
maybe let your buddy buy it. You can play through it at his house.
Let your buddy buy this game, play through it at their house, and order a pizza while you're there, and everybody will be happy.
Right, but friends don't let friends buy crappy games. So maybe let your buddy rent this one and spend the weekend doing whatever. 61 out of 20. It's a fun, good for one playthrough. Don't put it on your shelf as a keeper. Definitely try to get it at a discount price.
Absolutely. Check us out at stigmagamereview.com. Let us know what you think and send requests. See ya.